Slaptail Squad, assemble.
If you are listening to this, you are a member of the great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? Well, I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and Lord High Commander of the great Slaptail Nation Army. And this is the Slaptail Squad, as you probably noted from listening to the intro music. Also with me today, coming to us live from the Uniden, is my number 2, the Rons.
Hey, Beaveman, how's it going? How you doing?
Rons, I'm doing well. Doing well, thank you. How are things?
Been better days, but they're ahead, of course.
Okay. Why are you saying that? Is everything okay?
Just tired running.
Also with us today.
Thank you very much.
In the beaver den is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I have a question.
Oh, please, go ahead.
You know how you say creator of all things great and small? And you used to say like great, like blah, 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 like...
And small, like
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
But you don't do that anymore. I kind of miss it. You should probably bring it back.
It's because I ran out of things to say. I never
Well,
wrote
I mean,
I didn't write anything down. I just came up with it off the top.
I know. Maybe you should start coming up with it again.
It starts being the same shit over and over again. And I just say everything like small, like my penis, so it gets old.
Oh, well, I guess I missed hearing small like my penis, so.
Small like your penis?
Yeah, like my
More
penis.
like big like your vag.
True.
Hi-yo!
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 So great.
Hi-yo!
Like my vag.
Well,
No?
Big and small.
Well, that wasn't
All things.
great.
Sure, great then.
Yeah,
Great.
It's like so big, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Or it's a tic-tac. Tic-tac down a hallway.
Oh, tic-tac. Okay,
Tic-tac down a
fantastic.
hallway. Right away,
Anyway.
I need to make a correction from the last podcast because I know that so many listeners listen to it. I must say that I made a mistake.
No!
I did. I said that my Croatian child was from the Baltic area, but he's not from the Baltic area if he's from Croatia. He's from the Balkans.
Sorry, son.
Sorry, son. I apologize. I apologize.
So that's kind of like the live, love,
I am
long
fallible.
live and prosper.
I am fallible.
So
Whatever.
he's
Live live long and prosper.
yeah.
No, he's not Vulcan.
Oh.
I said Balkan. Balkan. B-A-L.
Oh. Wow.
From the Balkans. Got it?
Okay.
All right, so I apologize to Strange Luke.
Sorry, son.
Yeah, you already said that.
I wanted to
What
say it
type
again.
of parent are you if you don't know where your
We're
own
still
child
learning.
is from?
We're still learning.
learning. We're learning. It's a foreign child, Rons. We don't know everything.
Do you know where children come from?
I do.
We adopted him. So we adopted him. He came from Croatia.
No, they came from vaginas. Don't you know how the vajayjay works?
Well,
Come on,
not
Ron.
all children come from vaginas.
That's
Where
true.
do they come from?
Ron's is
Actually true.
perplexed.
That is actually true.
They come from
Swan.
uteruses,
True.
but they don't all exit via vagina.
Correct. Wise.
Well,
Very
Ron's
wise.
is still looking like
He still looks
dumbfounded.
perplexed, doesn't he? Why
Well,
do you
yes,
look? Why do you look confused, Rons?
Because as we all know, I do not know how the vajayjay
I
works.
don't know how the vajayjay works.
yeah, there
Yeah,
we
I mean,
go.
some people have an unscathed vagina, and when they give birth via C-section, Ron's.
What happens with a C-section exactly, Rons?
I don't know.
New guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
Or
There you
he
go.
passed out. Most of them pass out.
Pass out, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not. It's really not that bad. I've seen them.
yeah. I mean,
It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah. So wise observations, Juan.
thanks.
Nicely done. I don't think that I have any other corrections this week. Anything else that I said wrong? Anyone? Probably not.
No.
I'm pretty much
No.
on it most of the time. On it like a fat kid, like a swan on a cupcake.
Yeah, like a fat kid on a cupcake. Mm-hmm. Cupcakes. I really don't like the cake part. I just like the frosting.
Ah.
You like the
By the
cupcake
way,
top? You like the cupcake?
I like the muffin top, the cupcake top. Yeah. The vessel for frosting. Yeah.
I know it was for me, personal observation here. It was great to see Swan return to the dojo.
She didn't.
That was
She didn't return to the dojo.
I did
I
see
was
her.
just
No,
a
it
guess.
She
did.
didn't.
I didn't return to the dojo.
Did you come back to it?
I entered the dojo. Yeah, I
you
did.
came back to the dojo.
Just for a moment, a brief,
That's all it takes. Just a brief moment in time to satisfy something. So, what was your why did you come back?
She didn't. She
Why did
just
I
you
made
come
a
in that
guest
one day?
appearance.
You
I
make
made
it
a-
sound like she's returning to do something. She's not. She just.
I made a guest appearance because it was my wedding anniversary, and that's what the Beaveman decided that we should do for our wedding anniversary. Jiu-jitsu.
Well, congratulations to you both. I would have probably picked sex, Beaveman, but that's great.
Well, yeah. I was already planning on going to jiu-jitsu because I missed Wednesday because I had to work. So I didn't want to miss both days. And I had been asking Swan for weeks about our anniversary and she didn't give a shit. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to go to jiu-jitsu. Seriously. That's what happens every time Ron opens his mouth. because-
Diarrhea comes out.
Yeah.
Diarrhea
Because he's
comes
a
out.
child. Okay. Exciting week this week.
I think that makes me a cool wife.
No.
Yeah, it does. Because I didn't care enough about our anniversary. Or, I mean, I guess I did care. But I cared enough to share jujitsu with you for our anniversary. Yeah.
That is awesome.
See, Ron thinks it is. But he's easily amused. So
I am so easily moved. Put a shiny object in front of me, I will play with it for hours.
Okay.
okay.
Anyway, exciting
Okay.
exciting week this week. First of all, let me say that today is the 10th. By the time everybody listens to this podcast, of course, we release on Sunday. And so it will be too late for me to say happy birthday to the Marine Corps, but because it will already pass their birthday, but happy birthday to the Marine Corps. Although
Hoorah.
Marines do suck ass, it is my job to point out that some of them are pretty cool. Although they will
They
never be
are.
as cool as
The Air Force.
as
Thank you.
airborne infantry.
Thank you.
As the airborne infantry. Nobody even
Oh,
considers the
airborne.
Air Force
I
to
thought you were
be-
going to see the Air Force.
Nobody even considers Air Force to be military rounds. Sorry.
They do.
They
do.
really don't.
They really do.
Okay.
But then again, that's me. But
I wouldn't have picked that as I mean, if I was
you're
gonna,
a civilian. You don't get an opinion.
I know, but if you think of
No,
military,
no,
the
you
first
don't get
thing
an
I think of
opinion.
is
You're a
Army.
woman. Women
Like
don't
actually,
have
the
an
order
opinion.
that I think of it is Army, Navy, Marines, because just that's how it comes out in my brain.
Mhm. That's you. That's you. So, when you see a fellow Marine, do you give him a pack of crayons?
Well, I don't see a fellow Marine because I'm not a Marine.
Well, fellow military person, I guess.
Why would I? No, I don't give him a pack of crayons. That's a
Okay.
relatively new joke, but okay.
Yeah. it
Anyway,
is.
happy birthday, Marine Corps.
Happy
and also, by
birthday.
the time this comes out, it will already be past Veterans Day. So, happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. Ron. It's much easier than me editing out Ron's. You know, Ron, after all these podcasts that we've done, you know you have a mute button, right? So as soon as you start to yawn, if you would hit that mute button, I would greatly appreciate it. That way I don't have to edit this out. And I could just, focus on better quality of our podcast as opposed to me spending hours just editing out things like yawns.
I'm pretty sure that humans yawn way more than any other animal.
I don't know. Let's ask. Say there.
I didn't
do you
realize
guys
you
yawn a
could
lot?
hear my yawns. I really
They're
did.
like, "Ah."
Yeah, you don't even yawn like an adult. You yawn like you're freaking in kindergarten. Most adults that I know, they cover their mouths when they yawn.
He's in underoos for God's sake. So
That's
what?
okay. That's all right. It's now as he's learned after all
Now,
these
first of all,
podcasts.
I was covering my
thankfully, it's
mouth. I'm
great.
sorry the mic picked it up. It was a sensitive mic.
Did you say Polly Pockets? What?
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 I don't know. I
Nobody said Polly
Polypropylene?
Pockets. Nobody said Polly Pockets.
No.
I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I don't know.
one did.
Anyway,
I'm sorry for yawning and being tired.
So anyway, I thought that it would be nice to thank all of our veterans because it is a veteran. By the time this comes out, Veterans Day will already be passed, and I'm sure my father will have already called me 4 times to ask me if I'm going for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free. And the answer is no, I do not do that.
Well, I think he goes for like 4 meals.
He goes for at least 2.
Probably.
He usually goes for lunch, or he usually goes for breakfast or brunch, and then he goes to dinner. And he still calls me every year and says, "Hey, are you going to go do that?" And my answer is always
No.
generally no. I will not.
I think you've maybe done it twice.
I
ever.
have, and it was very annoying, and I hated it because, and you know why I hated it, Swan?
Why?
Because nobody did anything to prove that they were veterans.
They just
They just said,
honor
"Oh,
it
yeah,
on
I'm
your
a veteran
word.
too," and they just got their dinner. And you know that a very low percentage of people have served in the military. So I find it very shocking that so many veterans came out to have their free meal.
Okay, but does that annoy you as much as people who ask for their veterans discount on everything?
No, the people that ask for a veterans discount on everything should be choked. It's very annoying. It's not necessary.
Fair enough. As for Veterans Day, how do you prove if you don't have the paperwork on you that you're a vet?
Nobody asks for anything. That's my point. That's why it annoys me to go do those things. Because know there's a good percentage of people that are not veterans that are taking advantage of those free meals or discounted meals.
I mean, when they offer like free coffee for nurses, they ask to see your work ID. Nobody asks for veterans anything for Veterans Day.
And I used to take my proof with me, but now I just don't even go.
Anyway, don't make this moment sad. Make this moment great. You were honoring veterans and now we're just bitching.
Well, because Ron's kept the conversation going, and I was saying nice things about being a veteran.
That's what I'm saying. Oaxaca.
Excellent. Nicely done.
Thank you.
But hey.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
Yes, stop looking at me, Swan.
There you go.
All right. No, I wanted to know if the Rons has any happy veteran stories. We've already heard about how you save people's lives when you were in the military, but that was when you were an active duty member. How about any happy veteran stories? About times you were in the parade or anything exciting like that, or anything that you've done as a public service as a veteran? Any ways that you were honored as a veteran that are wonderful little memories for you? Anything like that at all? Or if you don't have a story, it's fine. You can always lie and make something up too.
No,
he's not good on the fly.
No way.
He's not.
On Vets Day, you're right about not getting the not having the ID. But when I've walked in, they go, "It's Veterans Day." I'm like, "Oh."
They're like, "You look like a homeless veteran."
Hi-yo! Yeah. Hello. I'm like, "Well, I was in the Air Force," and
they're like, "That doesn't count."
Right? They go, "Well, here's a free cup of coffee for the day," and I'm like, "Okay." Or when I go to a certain place, they go, "All right, do you have any? And this is kind of a discerning thing. It's like, are you over a certain age? Do you get a senior's discount?" I'm like, "No." "Are you a vet?" And I'm like, "Well, I'd rather, not use it if I don't need to. But yeah, I'm a vet." And it's like, "Well, you get so much off your purchase." I'm like, "Okay." So, sometimes, if it comes up, I use it.
Happy memory, or is this the rambling of a madman?
Yeah, just a rambling of a madman.
It's both.
You know what often happens to me when people ask if I'm a veteran and I say yes, and then people are like, "Well, what did you do?" Especially if attractive young female in skirts. I'll say, "Well, I was an airborne infantry paratrooper." Next thing you know, they're taking off their panties and they're like, "I don't need these."
I'm sure that
like,
happens often. That happens.
Like, no, I'm married and I'm married and in a sexless relationship.
Yeah.
No, I can't say anything is in.
You can't say that women automatically take their panties off when they find out what you did in the military.
No, I can't.
Women don't find refuelers hot.
Oh, they do. They have, because we have longer hoses.
No, you play with hoses.
We also have longer hoses. Let's face it.
Yeah, external hoses, not your hoses.
Bonds.
Just because you're hauling a hose around doesn't mean that you got a big hose.
Yes, it does. But
No, that's like people who drive big trucks, Rons. He must be
What?
compensating for something. He's carrying a big hose.
There you go.
Compensating for.
Glad you noticed.
Mm.
So no, I don't have really any interesting vet stories other than I served.
Yeah, that's not an
What about
interesting
you? What do you
story.
got?
I just wondered if you had any. If you had any, like, I don't know. I don't either. When you look at the things that the contributions that I've made to society, they're pretty small.
Well,
I don't volunteer. The only thing I do is work.
well, you know, I volunteer, or I used to before the pandemic, but it was never because I was a vet. It's just because I like to.
Well, this is a pretty shitty segment then. Let's move on. What else is going on this week? Very exciting things this week.
Well, the new Black Panther movie is coming out, so everybody's excited to see that.
That's what you're excited about. I was just going to talk about the governor's race, but that's okay. Let's talk about Black Panther.
Oaxaca. Wakanda?
What the fuck? Yeah, you know.
Let's mix
you
two
just
cultures.
pissed off every nerd
something.
and geek out there, Swan. You really did.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just heard a review on it, and they
Jesus, he went right back to the next Black Panther movie instead of talking about the governor's race.
Well, okay, so we'll talk about the governor's race. Someone won, someone lost.
That's all
There you go.
That's how you feel about it? You weren't worried either one way or the other?
I voted. I'm glad the candidate that I voted for won. All right, moving on. Let's see what happens now.
That's it? I was worried. I was super worried. I was super worried. I guess I was the only one who's not worried.
So I wasn't worried at all because
Rottens was confident in his vote.
No, I was confident. I was confident in the American in the American people this time because they didn't want a fucking wacko.
Well, apparently 46% of people did want a fucking wacko, or whatever the percentage was.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, but that's 46% of the people.
That's a lot.
So, right? They still lost, and I knew they would be, because when you have a certain whacked out president back you, and your Republican Party has people going, well, this is satanic indoctrine and everything. No. Common sense tells you that's not the candidacy for the job. That's not the person for the job.
Well, common sense tells you that, but she still got a lot of votes. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you can imagine if she won, how horrible things would be. Just throw away women's rights, literally, right away.
Well, I think that was one of the biggest issues that she ran on. And when she said something like that, I thought, there's no way this person is going to win because of that.
She got over 40% of the votes. There was a way that she could have won. That's what we're saying.
Like, that margin of victory was not huge.
Big enough, but that's not the point. If I had faith in the people of the state, it would have been like, oh, she would have got no votes or 10% of the votes. That just means that 46% of the people, if not higher, that you come in contact with, if you took 10 people, that means 4 of them are just as whacked out crazy. And we're more than willing to put her in the office. What does that say for the future of the United States? Not a lot.
40% are whacked out crazy.
Yeah. They're like,
I mean, that's...
You have no right to your body. Great stuff. Good time.
I don't know. I feel like driving around the neighborhood or just driving around tells me who I don't want to vote for.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I drove around and I was like, ooh, those neighbors are whacked out crazy. Not voting for anybody on their lawn. And it's so true.
It is true.
And I just think it's kind of funny, like one person in particular who had certain signs up doesn't have any children. How can you vote for things that you don't even like have? I mean, I guess you can vote for whatever you want to, but like your experience, you're voting for stuff that you don't even know anything about. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like going to the priest and asking for marriage counseling.
Yeah.
I agree. The one thing I don't get is when you look at the ballot, why am I electing board trustees of colleges and universities. I don't get that.
No, I don't either. Why don't they just have that as a local election, or kind of like societies, right? If you have one of the groups, I don't even belong to them anymore, but my licensure comes from the American Academy of Nurse Practitioners, but they branched off, and now you can join the AANP, which is the American Association of Nurse Practitioners, and there's X amount of members, and they vote for who's going to be in charge, who's the president, vice president, whatever. Why don't they just do it like that? Why do we need to have a say in that? I agree with you. Why do I care about what's going on with Wayne State University?
Yeah, I don't really think that that's necessary either. That seems like a waste of ink.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any say. I don't really think that my say on that is necessary, so I don't even vote for that stuff.
I didn't vote for some of those either.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably all
I'm
of
not
them.
going to throw my vote to somebody that I don't even know.
Yeah. Or have a vested interest in, like, what do you care about that? Yeah, you're right.
And why do they make the ballot intentionally difficult to understand? Like, if you read the ballot sleeve says on the outside that you can vote either a straight party ticket, a mixed ticket, and it has all these categories, right? But then when you open up the actual ballot itself, it doesn't say that as your first options. It literally lists the different parties. There's no part of it that says mixed ticket or whatever. None of that's on there. So you're like, okay, so if I vote straight Democratic or Republican, do I need to fill in each individual thing or not? Like, it's very confusing. And I think they make it confusing on purpose.
They want you to mess it up.
Yeah, they want you to fuck it up. They want you to fuck it up and accidentally vote for some jacked up candidate that you didn't want.
So I am looking at some results for the Michigan governorship, and it looked like 61% of the votes went to Gretchen Whitmer, yeah, and Tudor Dixon got 36%, and that's a large margin, though.
Yeah, but that's 36% of the people who voted for her.
So if you're
Whether there's a
standing
large
in a
margin or
line
not.
with 10 people or 100 people, let's go with 10. Almost 4 of
Let's go with
them.
100 because
Yeah.
we can make the percentage out of 100.
Yeah. Okay. So 100 people are in line.
Oh, Beaveman, come on, you
36
just
of
missed it.
them
You missed
voted
that
for her.
soundbite opportunity. 2 out of the 3 people.
How
got a
many
soundbite.
people voted for? How many times do you need to vote, Ron? No.
Well,
but
according
if
to the
you have-
Republicans, 2 or 3 times.
Are you to
But
finish
yeah,
your
I
thoughts?
understand
Juan, we
what-
can't
Well,
have dead air. Finish your
Ron's
thought.
is interrupting. No, so you have 100 people in line. You divide them out. 36 people voted for that person. And only 64 voted for the other. That's a third of them. I don't know. I don't want a third of my population voting for them.
Well, let's go on the
That's
let's
not
go
a
on
big
the,
win.
if
mean-
you went by the backing of the parties, I think people got pissed off so much at the hatred and the lies that were spewing by the Republican Party that they had enough. You're right, though. It was probably too close to call at some point.
I mean, it's not
What
too
kind
close
of-
to call because they won, but I wouldn't want to only win by that much. I mean, that's a lot of,
No, but he was
doubt.
talking about common sense.
yeah.
Saying that, people with common sense wouldn't vote for her because of the shit that she was saying. Yeah, but 36% of the voters
the
did.
Yeah, I
population
realize
did.
that. I realize that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue. You're like, nobody should have voted for her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're a straight Republican or not, and you're like, I'm only going to vote for a Republican. You should still be like, you know what? This lady's a fucking moron. And the shit that she's spewing is just straight up hate speech. I didn't even catch it on the last debate. Apparently, she referred to the governor and basically she said something like, I'm the only woman who's running for governor. As if because, Governor Whitmer shouldn't be referred to as a woman because she is okay with all the other pronouns and all the other stuff out there.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but clearly she's.
So what's she saying? So she's trying to say that Governor Whitmer's not a woman, or it's not okay to be okay with other pronouns that people want to use.
Who knows?
That's still spewing
That's
just
still-
total bullshit.
Yeah, dumb.
So we dodged a bullet. How long will we dodge this bullet? That is the question. But I, for one, welcome our robot overlords, but not our Republican overlords. Unless a good one comes along, because I don't vote. I'm not a supporter of any party. I just don't support stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah. How about aliens? Would you welcome our alien overlords or
Are
just
they
robot?
hot?
Yeah.
They
I
are
would.
hot.
Sweet. Yeah, if they're hot chicks, yes.
How
Yeah.
they
Like
might
if they're the Amazons from outer space, yes.
Ooh, that's an old movie.
Hell yeah. If they're them, sure.
I see.
I would even take the hot V aliens who are lizards under their synthetic skin because you can't tell.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
Great.
Oh, you've never seen
What a
V?
great, yeah, what a great show.
No.
That's a callback to the 80s.
That's
right
where
there.
Robert England got his start.
Nope. I've never seen it. I guess I'll
Robert England, who plays Freddy. No, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He got his start in the movies.
TV.
Uh,
V was the
yeah, V was great. That was a great movie.
TV show.
Again, TV show runs.
Well, yeah, back in the day, you were correct.
And
It's okay.
I'm also
Ross.
correct right now. I'm also correct right now. TV show. V.
Do you think during the election, if Donald Trump hadn't backed Republicans, they might have gotten elected?
I don't know. That's one of the excuses that they're using right now. I don't really know that it matters. People are going to like him. They're not going to like him. They can always use him as a scapegoat also if they didn't do well. I mean, if they do well, he can say it was because of him. If they do poorly, they can blame him, but it's all up to the vote. Who knows?
Okay,
Who
I
knows?
get that. I get that.
I don't know. All I know is I mean, obviously I was still concerned about the Senate and the House, but I was more concerned about the governor than anything.
No,
It's tough. I would not want to be a woman now. This is sad. It's almost as bad as being a woman now as it was freaking 70 years ago. So
Yeah.
I think you'd make an attractive woman. I think
Well,
we've
thank
gone
you.
down this path.
like, I think my legs would give it away and my ass. I can't get my ass to be rounded, so I do not think I would be a good looking woman.
Well, don't they make prosthetic asses to make your ass look round?
Yeah, but that's not what your ass actually is. That's just the outward appearance. Once you take off your clothes and I got a flat ass, it's not attractive. It's like those,
The penis may give it away as well.
well, yeah, that might give it away also, but I don't want to falsely advertise a big round booty if I don't have one.
Ah,
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Understand what I'm laying down?
yeah. So I guess if you had to do all that, what would your drag queen name
It's
be?
really interesting that we're talking about politics, but Ron's immediately wants to go to what would I look like? What would my drag queen name
Well,
be?
you know,
I don't know, Ron,
honestly,
because I haven't given it
well,
that
you
much
know-
thought, but thank you for
Ron,
asking.
No.
what would your drag queen name be?
No, you don't get to play that game.
Why?
So-
You're the one who's like bringing it up, so clearly
Yeah,
you've given
so-
it thought.
No, I haven't. So, we could sit here and debate why the governorship went one way versus the other. And I think it's pretty sad sometimes when we have to look at the politics and we see how close we were to being stupid. It really is. It's a sad time when we look back and we're like, oh my God. And regardless of how close or how far the debate was or the race was won, it's still, you're absolutely correct that some people out there think that women's rights shouldn't be women's rights. Women's reproductive health should not be their own debate or their own business. That's just bullshit. And to even consider that on the ballot is so stupid. It really is. Here throughout history, women have run countries, run civilizations, right? Been in charge of businesses, and such is the case. And we got to consider them as a second-class citizen to put their fucking issues on a fucking ballot? No, people, it's time to fucking pull your collective asses out of the mire and get up and walk away. Sorry, that's just the way it is.
I just think it's sad that women are voting for the same thing. I mean, as a woman,
Well, it was the
Why
same thing
would
in the
you-
presidential election. Why would you, as a woman or as an immigrant, vote for Trump.
Right.
And I got news for you. All the people that vote for Trump that think that he loves them, if you're not rich, he doesn't love you. If you're in Alabama and your idea of a fun night is to sit on your porch in a rocking chair and roast a hamburger and a hot dog on a grate over a fire in your backyard and have a beer, and you really think that Trump would enjoy hanging out with you, you are fucking wrong. He hates you. He hates the majority of the people that voted for him. He doesn't like you. And
He
yet you still vote.
flip-flops way too much.
But
He really does. It was amazing during the his runoff is watching how he stirred the American public into a frenzy and then just sat back and watched the stupidity happen. And then now he claims, I didn't cause that. The American people wanted that. No, that's not the case, people. You really wanted to see the city burned down and then so you could rebuild it in your own image. And that's not exactly how a society works. It works as a collective unit with individual thoughts, of course. And that's the way it is. Next up on the Beaveman is another topic, Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Good call. Good call for Oaxaca. You know what? I have realized, because I'm very interested, as we all know, in coming up with comedy bits. And I was thinking the other day about all the things that annoy me throughout time.
Well, that's probably a lot.
Yeah, well, no, but your annoyances evolve with you as you get older, I've determined. So when I was young, obviously things that would annoy me, things like bullies, football players, found those annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Sports in general, the lack of attention received by from the opposite sex. Those sort of things annoy me. Now what annoys me, things that annoy me. People who repeat words incessantly. People who use words wrong. Chewing.
Chewing annoys you?
Chewing annoys me. I don't care who you are. Chewing annoys me. The Swan's chewing drives me absolutely fucking insane.
Well, there's also a medical condition. I looked into this at some point because certain sounds annoy me. And there's a medical condition for that.
There's a medical condition for that.
There's a medical condition for everything.
Yes. Yeah.
What word was annoying you the other day when we were watching that TV show?
I don't know. You should probably write this stuff down if you're going to bring it up.
It was the Killer Sally show, and every time she said something, you were like, "No, that's not how you say that word."
No, great show though, Ron. If you get a chance on Netflix, Killer Sally, really good. She got shafted, by the way.
She did. I feel bad for her.
She got fucked over. Good show. 3-part docuseries, 3 episodes. Very good. But she kept saying Valentine's.
Oh, Valentine's, yeah.
Valentine's. And not only did she say it, somebody else said it. And I was like, it is not Valentine's. It's Valentine's. Not times. Over.
Or over. Does it bother when people say library?
Yeah, I don't like library.
Library.
I also don't like when people say realtor.
Realtor.
It's not a realtor.
It's a realtor?
It's a realtor. It's very annoying.
That's like an inflection.
So you don't like the mispronunciation of words?
Or the incorrect use of words. Like when people say literally, but they don't mean it.
But they mean figuratively.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I can agree with the B-Man because when I go into work, I listen to the BBC, and I love the way they pronounce some words like Elon Musk. It's Elon. That's what he goes by, Elon, not Elon.
Well, that's different. I mean, you're talking about a different dialect of the English language. So, obviously we all have accents as well. That doesn't bother me. That's not what bothers me.
No, just the inappropriate use or like adding extra syllables or letters, like changing it to Valentine's and
repetitive words. People who can't, I love, and it's okay, you probably won't listen to this podcast anyway. I love the boy, but he says like almost as much as Tremonde does. Like, when you like
filler words.
Yes,
you've given me notes on what not to say.
But you've improved dramatically, haven't you?
I've tried. I appreciate it.
You have. I feel like I
So the
probably
me-
do it a lot
the-
too. I say like a lot too.
Yes, you
I
do.
do.
So,
I do.
The medical condition is, and if I mispronounce this,
You
please
will.
don't get mad at me. Misophonia.
Pretty close.
So
Sure.
misophonia is people with misophonia are affected emotionally by common sounds. Usually, people that don't pay attention, the ones that people just don't pay attention to. The examples above, breathing, yawning, or chewing, create a fight or flight response that triggers anger or a desire to escape. So that pisses you off when you hear a sound.
Well, I have asked several times for us to listen to music during dinner. But you know who takes the greatest offense at it?
I'm going to say the
Me,
swan.
because I'm the one who gets criticized all the time. It doesn't bother me when you chew. Everybody makes
That's you. This is the problem with Swan, is you don't understand that just because something doesn't bother you, that it doesn't bother other people.
So then
And not only
put
that,
some
you get
frickin'
offended.
music
You
on.
get offended that it bothers other people, and because of that, that makes you a selfish, arrogant asshole.
No, you're not being considerate of me. As you notice, when we have a conversation and the music is playing, I turn the music down
I don't want
because
you to.
the music bothers me and I tune out of you
No, it doesn't bother
to listen.
you. It doesn't bother you. You say it distracts you, and
It
that's
does.
because you have a small brain.
It does. It distracts me. Like I don't know. I like end up
You
singing
have
a
a
song
tiny medulla
or
oblongata.
something else, and I don't pay attention to the conversation because the music is playing. So I turn the music down so that I can pay attention to the conversation. Mm-hmm.
So what type of music would you listen to during mealtime?
Well, I think it would be some sort of like an orchestra, like orchestra music.
Oh, classical music.
Classical music. I think that would be fine
Okay, Susan
I wouldn't
Marches
have to
it is.
all the time. No, not big band.
Okay. Beethoven.
Something.
We'll be putting something on. I'll be putting something on from now
No, they don't
on.
get mad about
I'm
it.
gonna put chewing sounds
I'm not
on.
the only one who says it, so I'm not the only one who's annoyed by it. But you're not the only one. The boy is a loud eater.
No, he's a loud breather.
So's the girl.
Okay, everybody annoys you. We got it. We got it. We got
I
it.
try very hard to eat quietly.
But I can hear you chew too.
Yeah,
But
but
it
you don't hear me
doesn't
go.
bother
And
me.
you can hear me go. And your jaw popping and making all kinds of fucking noise.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so the longer you're around someone, the more annoying they are. And Swan doesn't understand that. You know what else Swan does that annoys me, Rons?
Oh,
What?
where do you start at this list?
I get
What
They're
else?
probably things that he thought were cute back in the day. Now they're not.
No. I never thought this was cute. You know, this is what the Swan does. If I have a lunch break, I don't have that lunch break to go have a conversation with Swan. I have my lunch break so that I can go and eat my lunch. You know what she fucking does?
I'm going to guess she talks to you during your lunch break.
She comes and stares at me while I'm fucking eating and then talks to me. I don't want to be bothered, and I sure don't want you to sit there staring at me in silence like you do. It's
But
fucking
you know,
Okay,
creepy.
well,
so
first of all,
you don't want me to conversate with you. You don't want me to stare at
I
you.
also don't want you just to stare at me while I'm eating.
Don't people have lunch breaks together?
They don't stare at each other while somebody. That's ridiculous.
Well, you don't want me to conversate with you, but you don't want me to stare at you either. So just don't have lunch with you. I can't eat next to you. I fucking can't eat
But,
next
you know,
to
You should not be eating next to me. No.
well, first of all, on your lunch break, don't you think the Swan would like to sit next to
No,
her
why?
betrothed?
She should take
The
her.
man she loves?
I try not to take the lunch break when she's got lunch. I don't want to be bothered.
So you don't want to see me all day, basically. So what the fuck is the point of actually working at home together?
I don't know. If you want to go back to working,
You can go back to
well,
working.
you go back.
You go back.
You go back. You're the one who liked it. I don't
So,
like it. I'd
to
rather be
make
at
this a
home.
lot more interesting, I mean, you like Swan in certain outfits? Why not have her wear those certain outfits
I'm
at home?
getting to that, Ron. I'm getting to the things that annoy me.
Oh yeah.
See,
Okay.
this is all part of my comedy bit. I could go on for hours about the Swan.
Oh, please do.
I rarely look like shit. Let me be honest. I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Handsome, but I rarely look like shit. Rarely. The Swan, however, looks like shit pretty much 90% of the day. Now, you could be casual. I don't care. Be casual. But be casual stylistically. You can wear casual, comfortable clothes and look nice.
What does she
Swan
do?
doesn't
Does
do
she
that.
have like a cigarette hanging from her lip and rollers in her hair and a bathrobe on?
Pretty close.
I mean, she wears, I'm not kidding you, Ron. She wears a common presentation for the Swan is giant freaking sweatpants, a giant t-shirt, her hair up in a ponytail, no makeup, and just looking like a total fucking bum. And she expects me to be looking at that and saying, oh, how cute, all day long. Even if I'm casual, my casual still looks good. I don't look like shit.
So
And then she expect that's not a pleasing aesthetic for me.
So I'm trying to understand or your point of view. Why don't you find that attractive? Or
Are you
why don't
fucking kidding me? You're
No,
attracted to
I'm not,
somebody who
because
dresses
it's like,
a
you know,
fucking bum? No,
So-
don't even start with, oh, when Little Pardona wears my t-shirt. No, come on. You mean to tell me that you would be more, if your wife dressed in a nice outfit, you would prefer it if she wore a freaking t-shirt that's 4 sizes too big, baggy sweatpants, no makeup, not washed, and with her hair in a ponytail. You'd much rather see that?
Let me state this right away.
If that is what you would rather see, then I have an observation for you. But go ahead. We'll go ahead and state it in a different way.
I love the woman. If that makes her feel comfortable, I'm not going to judge her. I really do. I won't. If that's what she wants to wear, I love her, not what she wears. Now, if I want to say, hey, would you wear this for me? Yeah, I would. But, if that's going to help her mentally get through the day and physically get through the day, I'm going to find something attractive about it. First of all, if she's wearing baggy clothes, oh boy, what's underneath is mine, and I want to peel it away like a Christmas present and go to town on it. Her hair's up in
my mouth a little.
Well,
New guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
There you go. But I guess I always find Little Powder Donut attractive no matter what she wears.
New guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
Yeah. So it doesn't bother me what she wears. It doesn't. I've seen her at her worst, and I'll see her at her finest. I just love her. I know it sounds rather...
New guy's in the corner puking his guts out.
There you go.
True love right there.
True love. I mean, I've seen her... I've seen her in a professional mode and in a bum mode, if you will. Doesn't bother me one way or another.
Okay, good for you. However, I believe my point was I can dress comfortably also, but I don't look like shit. That was my point. Also,
Never seen you look like shit.
That's his
exactly.
point.
You've never
Have you seen me looking like shit, Rons? Yeah, that's a daily occurrence.
Look at her right now. She looks like shit right now. She's wearing a giant freaking t-shirt and sweatpants. And her hair in a ponytail. You know how often I see her hair down? If I wanted that, I could have married some ugly chick, but I didn't. I married a cute chick who insists on looking ugly.
Aww.
You know what? I don't look presentable just for myself. I would be ashamed to look like her all the time. I would be ashamed to present myself.
I don't know. You might be able to pull off her bra and panties, but I don't know. What would be your color?
Why does Ron want to see you in women's undergarments?
Well, he said he couldn't pull off your look, so I mean, it's got to be a pretty special look. So, anyway.
As a side note, gay head
Yeah.
is what Ron's from the Slaptail podcast wants Tremonde to give him.
And
There you
possibly
go.
Now me also, apparently.
Thank you, JD.
Thank you, JD. Big shout out to him.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean,
Anyway.
I guess I don't see the issue with what anybody wears.
I mean,
at least close to me.
that's because I'm not gonna be mean. That's because you dress like Swan.
Oh,
That's because you both look like
you look like shit every
look like
day,
you
Ron.
don't put much into your appearance at any time. Even if I've gone hunting all day and have been in the woods all day, I still look better than most people.
Now you're just being assy and full of yourself.
I'm just saying, I don't like to look like shit in front of other
Do you
people.
put a crease in your? Do you still put a military crease in your camouflage when you go hunting? Shine your boots.
No. Why would I shine my boots? I don't wear boots that can be shined.
Okay.
Just like I didn't
But I
wear
figure pretty much, yeah, I mean...
Rons, you didn't spend any time in the woods. When we went to the woods and the jungle, our boots were not shined. You don't want anything reflective to draw attention to yourself.
It's different when you're a fueler.
You wear something different
You
in
can
garrison.
wear shiny things when you're a
something
fueler.
different in garrison than you wear than what you wear in the field.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
My point is, I would be ashamed to present myself like a shitbag at all times to my spouse. And it wouldn't matter if I asked her to look nice, because she would not look nice just out of spite.
Hell yeah.
Because she's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The Swan takes personal offense if you compliment her. Or if you ask her to look nice. She just takes offense at that. Because she's a dick.
Yay, go Swan.
Yeah. Go Swan. Go
Now,
Swan.
how did this turn into Bash Swan time?
Because I was talking about my comedy routine, and that you're a big part of it.
I see.
You know, I like, when I was a young man, and even now, I find like girls that wear like the dark makeup and like the fishnets over, ripped up jeans and the skirts and the black and dog collars and all that
Like
stuff.
goth-ish.
Not goth, more like punk as opposed
Okay.
to goth. But I like goth too. But goth was later on. So if I was to say I liked goth, that would be more like me being a pedophile. Punk is more
Okay.
punk would be
Yeah,
more
we
my
won't go on
age
that
range.
creepy motion,
Yeah,
will we?
Punk would be more my age range. So I like all that. I like Joan Jett, stuff like that. And so I always thought I would end up with a girl like that because that's what I'm attracted to. But instead I end up with Swan, who's as far from it as you can get. But I thought maybe she would have some of that in her because she wore eyeliner. But now she don't even wear that. So I don't even get into that.
I was lucky enough that little powder donut was kind of punkish when I first met her.
But now she
so.
wears t-shirts that are 4 sizes too large.
We've never seen any of these
Sweatpants.
pictures of Little Powder Donut.
I don't think there are any.
I don't think there are either. I said I wanted to see their wedding picture or like Little Powder Donut and Ron's military photos, but we've never seen those either.
Okay, I'll
So-
show it to you sometime. I will.
Okay.
I will.
They might not exist.
They don't.
Back in our day, Swan, we did not take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, but you know they have like some.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what else annoys you? I
Oh,
mean,
by all
yeah,
means.
we're not like just your lack of patience.
You saying I'm not patient?
Correct.
I'm patient
Not
and
at
I'm
all.
kind.
No.
No.
Why am I not patient then? What's not patient about me?
You're kind of impatient.
I have to be patient to deal with what I have to deal with. My life is pretty freaking torturous. I live with fucking slobs
Mm-hmm.
who get crusties all over the freaking faucets and the handles of the refrigerator and the handles of the dishwasher. Another pet peeve of mine, fucking disgusting. And they'll walk on crumbs all over the kitchen floor and act like they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it that I'm not patient if I have to deal with all that shit all the time? You know what? If you were like me, even 10% like me,
I'd
all
probably
the
have
shit
high
that you
blood
guys
pressure.
all the shit that you guys do would drive you fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably have high blood pressure. Yeah, for sure.
But you don't.
But
You
I-
just tend to ignore it. You'll be content to sit there and watch me clean the fucking house while you sit on your freaking sweatpants ass
Mm-hmm.
in your oversized t-shirt.
I'm not gonna lie, I did wear a leopard
sticking up
print
my couch,
onesie.
sticking
I
up my
wore
couch.
I wore a leopard print onesie to work today. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't care if you would have done that. Maybe do your hair though. Maybe look nice.
Mm. I'll take note of that.
Don't get angry. It's just my comedy routine. It's just a character, Swan.
Can I
Just a
wear
character.
my
It's just a
Can I
character.
wear my
It's all
ponytail
just a character.
as long as I put eyeliner on?
No, you're not going to do it anyway because now you're taking personal offense. Now you're taking personal offense again because you're like, well, I don't have to look good. You're married to me. You have to look at this.
Exactly.
Like, nope, I don't have to look at it.
Yeah, don't
That's
look at
the
it.
point.
Don't look
I
at it.
don't have to look at it. And I don't have to like it. But it's just a routine. It's just a bit.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of bits, I think it's time to roll that beautiful commercial.
Oh, by all means.
Hey there, members of the Great Slaptail Nation. It's me, the Beaveman, and I'm here to deliver you a message from beyond the stars about our sponsor for this episode, Swiss Navy. No matter who you love or how you love, Swiss Navy products set the bar for sexual enhancement. There's more glide, more comfort, and even products for longer-lasting pleasure. Swiss Navy has a wide range of premium products to choose from for whatever amount fills your hole, if you know what I mean. My favorite product is Swiss Navy's silicone lube. Get it, use it, love it, and never be dry again. Once again, that's Swiss Navy at SwissNavy.com. And in your order comments, let them know the Slaptail Squad sent you. Swiss Navy, no matter who you love or how you love. Adios, mooch fuckos. You know what else annoys me is people's personal hygiene habits.
Like people who cut their toenails at the dojo?
Yeah, actually, that is exactly what I was going to say, Swan.
Because that is nasty.
Rons, do you know what has been occurring on our side of the dojo very frequently?
People not showing up for class?
No, that's a common thing. We don't
okay.
we don't have a big class. No, our mats being riddled with toenails.
Yeah, who's cutting their damn toenails at the dojo?
Not even just cutting. There's people ripping their toenails off
Yeah.
and leaving them on the mats, like all over. Disgusting. It's not uncommon for us to find Band-Aids over there too.
Yeah, a used Band-Aid is pretty nasty. Not gonna lie. That's a gross one.
I guess I haven't seen it. I haven't been looking out for it, but I guess I will. I don't know of anybody that does that.
Well, you're not there 24 hours a day. You know, there's plenty of times where people are in the dojo, not during class times also, which I find odd, but whatever. I love finding toenails, Band-Aids, and blood on our mats. That's always great too. That's always fun. Disgusting. There are more toenails. I don't know if there's more toenails left on the mats or in that jar of peanut M&Ms that you guys have.
You.
We haven't had those in a while.
What's a while?
More than I don't. It's
A while. Subjective.
no, it's actually been like a month or so.
That's not that
actually.
long,
month?
considering how long you've had them.
Yeah, whatever. But it's been a month or so, so I really haven't paid attention to it.
You're not having
Right,
an M&M withdrawal?
No, not at all.
Well, that's good.
I guess I should, but I don't.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I don't even like M&Ms.
Oh, I do.
No.
I like peanut M&Ms, but now I like them less after watching everybody put their grubby paws in them at the dojo.
I guess that's good for you then.
Yeah, that's why I kind of get grossed out when I see them now, and I used to love them. Yeah. So also, I guess, shout out to this new project from JD and his crew. JD Hutchins of the Monsters Lair.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to JD. He just did a little podcast update. So if you're interested in all things spooky, check out the Monsters Lair. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts. His new season will be starting in March of 2023. But he is a member of so this is my shout out to his crew. He's a member of the Myriad Podcast Network, and they are welcoming people into their network. So good for them. Of course, we have our own network, the Slaptail Nation. And I always wanted other podcasts to approach us and say, hey, can we be part of the Slaptail Nation? And then I would look at them kindly and calmly and say, no! No, I would. It's just, I would have to screen it very, very judiciously. But also, I've always just wanted to be a part of the Last Podcast Network. Maybe someday they'll hear me.
So have you ever reached out to them?
Stop asking that. You ask that question every time I bring them up. The answer is still no. I have not.
All right.
And then he's going to tell you that you should.
Yes.
You
And
should.
Do you think it's because Ron's has Alzheimer's that he always asks the same questions?
You know, I might have Alzheimer's. I kind of asked the same question.
You really do.
probably should do like a screening on him. Maybe we
Yeah,
could
you
do
should
that
do a
for
screening on
I
him.
would fail miserably if I did an Alzheimer's screening on him.
yeah. I feel
You
like
know,
I
and
would
for
fail.
that screening, I would probably wear a big puffy sweatshirt and baggy pants.
So you would dress like you normally do.
Yes, I would.
It's
with my hair in a
sweatpants
ponytail.
and a big oversized
I could actually
t-shirt.
see you in a ponytail in like 10 years, Ron's.
Ew, with like the thin hair on the top.
Yes.
It's like super greasy and
Whoa,
Yeah.
well, I do take care of myself. I will go with the thin ponytail.
He's like, I will go with the thin ponytail.
It will be clean,
It'll
but
be
thin.
clean, but thin. Clean, but thin.
Yes, it will be clean but thin.
Clean, thin, and small, just like my penis.
There you go. Hello. I would go with that.
Okay, well. Anyway, so good luck to them and the Myriad Podcast Network. Oh, and also, he gave us a shout out on his podcast update this Monday. So thank you,
Awesome.
JD, for doing that.
I had a friend of mine when we were in the military who had the Necronomicon.
Yeah, I had the Necronomicon.
And I asked why he had that. And he says, I wanted to give my children a chance at exploring different types of religions and understandings. And I thought that was a really cool thing to do because everybody comes down on different types and different ways of thinking. So shout out to him. And I thought, good on you.
The guy who doesn't know yours, shout out to that guy who had the Necronomicon, which is not a religion, by the way, Ron's, but okay, it's just a book. It's not.
It was a book. But
It's just a
you and
book.
I both know when you were in the military, if you had certain books.
Yeah, you really shouldn't have had. I'm pretty sure that's when I had it too. So I don't think, you're not supposed to really have that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember once I was in, there was a lot of gang activity many, many years ago among members of the military when I was in. So they decided they were going to evaluate our tattoos, and they were also going to record them. Whatever tattoos we had, they put in this book, and then they were supposed to be able to look at what certain tattoos meant. And so
they do that in prison for gang identification.
Sure. Anyway, so they did that to us. And so they did that and they checked out our tattoos. And then later on, I think it was like later on in the week, my squad leader came up to me. He's like, hey, Beaveman, because that's what they called me.
Mhm.
Sergeant Beaveman. We just want to let you know that the U.S. Army does not recognize Satanism as a religion.
You're like, thank you.
I said, well, thank you. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but thanks for letting me know. They're like, well, don't you worship Satan? And I was like, not last time I checked. I do go for.
So you were
I
a
do like.
smartass like, how'd
I
you
do
figure
like.
this out?
I do like demon-looking chicks and hot chicks and goth, punk chicks. But no, I don't. I do not worship Satan. But thank you for asking. Why are you asking that question? I'm like, well, we just thought you did. Based on your tattoos, your tattoo. I'm like, okay.
Because it had like skulls on it. What like?
Yeah, because my tattoo was of this warrior demon holding a sword, standing on a pile of bones.
Okay.
I'm like, well, that doesn't really make me a Satanist, but okay. I'm like, your book might be off just a little bit, but that's fine.
So it was their perception or misperception of what they saw.
Since
That's
they
fucking great.
own you, can they make you change your tattoo?
No, because they would have to pay for it. But they can. I mean, like when I was in, they regulated where you could get tattoos.
Like you couldn't have it showing.
No, you couldn't get like hand tattoos and stuff like that. Now, if you already had a hand tattoo and you joined, that was allowed. But you were not allowed to get one after you were in.
Oh.
Just like you couldn't get them on your, like, visible above your collar or on your neck or on your head. You couldn't do that. If you had them before you came in and they allowed you to come in, it was fine. But not after. And I'm sure that now you can get them anywhere, probably.
No, you can't. They've tightened the rules on that. You can't have them in certain areas before you join now. So, you can't have them on your hands, your neck.
I wouldn't know because I don't. I have nothing to do with any of that. I have no idea. I could not confirm or deny any of that at all. Anyway, yeah.
Wow, I love that statement. I can neither confirm or deny.
Well, it's good. I don't know. If anybody asks me what goes on with the military now, I have no idea. I can tell you how things were when I was in,
Of course you could.
but not any other time. I don't know anything about it.
So you're gonna get pissed at me, so I'll say it and I'll just get it out of the way and you get pissed at me. Thank you for your service. Happy Vets Day. I know you don't like it, but fuck you. I think you deserve it.
Heartburn! I'm bleeding! Heartburn! I'm bleeding!
That guy was shitting in a zoo.
That's dumb.
Oh, it's great. Ah, it's so good. It's so good. You know what else is
Anyways.
great, Rons? Are you gonna do this later?
He might.
I might.
By himself. Gross.
No.
No.
Maybe?
No.
No. Thank you, Rons, for being considerate. Thank you as well for the services that you performed orally.
No.
For those big hoses you held.
Someone had to do it.
No, honestly, though, I thank you for everybody who served. Sorry that this is coming out on Sunday, but you know what? It's nice to be thanked more than once. So thank you to my father for his service. Thank you to my grandfather, all my relatives that served, those that will serve in the future, those that are serving now. I would like to thank you, but we're only supposed to thank you on Armed Forces Day because you're not veterans yet. But I'm going to thank you anyway. Nice job. I'm not saying Happy Veterans Day. I'm just saying thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you to those who have gone before us. And thank you to my buddy Chris, who passed away a year ago. Thank you for his service. His birthday was issued the same day as mine, different year, because that's the date that was issued to all badass airborne paratroopers. But I digress. All right. Oaxaca. All right. So it's shout out time and movie pick time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Rons, check out Killer Sally, 3-part docuseries on Netflix. Really good.
Killer Sally.
She got the hose. She got the hose, man. She got the hose, and not in a good way.
She got the hose.
She got screwed. She got shafted.
Yeah.
Shafted. Also, I have started watching Blockbuster. Was it the last Blockbuster? I don't know. Comedy series on Netflix starring Randall Park. Awesome. I'm looking forward to watching that. I watched episode 1. Let's see here. What other shout outs? We mentioned JD and the Myriad Podcast Network of podcasters. I would also like to do a shout out to my 2 children, Skylar Creates on Twitch. You can always check him out there under Skylar Creates. And his Croatian sibling, Strange Loop. That's strange_loop, spelled with an E, Loope. And that's pretty much it for me. I got nothing else. Anybody else got anything else?
Yeah,
Anything else?
shout out to the Beaveman, the Swan, Little Powder Donut, the boy, and Tremonde, who is not here with us, of course, today, but here in spirit. And JD, congratulations on his newfound success.
Why are you shouting out pretty much all the same people that I've already shouted out?
It's the dementia.
It's the dementia. It's the amnesia. Or the ammonia. Alzheimer's. Yeah, that's
or
the
maybe
word.
it's the ammonia. You might have
it
some
could be.
built up in your brain. That could be part of your problem.
Could be.
You got cats.
The cure for that, too much ammonia. It's lactulose. Right?
No. Maybe.
It is shit.
That's gross.
No, what's the really thick stuff that you swallowed? What was it called?
Lactulose.
Then why'd you say maybe?
Because I just wanted to
Be
mess
part
with
of the
you.
situation.
Well, when you drink a bunch of that, what happens is not only does your blood sugar go up, but what else happens?
You shit your ass out. I know you wanted to go there.
That is what happens. That's how you get rid of that high ammonia.
Yeah. It gets rid of your potassium.
What do you get for ammonia? No.
Jesus.
Ammonia.
It's both.
Uh-huh. Which is
You
it?
definitely
I don't know.
love
I'm
that.
going to have to
Oh,
Google
no,
that.
we don't
shit.
know.
I'm going to have to fact check that. It's only been 10 years or more.
True. It's not anything that I would prescribe on a regular basis.
True.
Oh,
Anyway.
boy. Yeah, well, we might have to have that up to you. This just goes to show when you leave the hospital where you don't have to worry about those critical things anymore.
Right.
This stuff does leave your brain.
True. It's sad.
But guess what? You're never going to learn anything listening to this podcast. I have a different podcast for that. It's not going to start till like January, February timeframe.
Yeah, and
So
we're
you're
a
not
bunch
going
of...
to learn anything from this podcast.
Don't take it.
But,
Don't take advice from us.
Don't take advice from us. Never should. This is for entertainment purposes only, people.
Yes.
Yes.
Hopefully you're entertained.
Yes, hopefully. All right. Well, then that's it for me, the Beaveman, saying thanks for hanging out with us and adios, muchachos.
Bye from the Swan.
And from the Rons, happy Vets Day.
Happy Vets
Just remember, stay. What?
Day. Did you say Happy Vets Day?
Happy Vets Day.
Mm,
Right?
Why are you shortening it?
Sure. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, why
Happy
not?
Vets Day. Sure.
Happy Vets Day, right? So if you're a veterinarian out there, happy Vets Day to you too.
I think they have their
So
own day.
yeah, stay sane, motherfuckers. It's gonna get crazy out there.
Why?
Just
Why do you
gonna
think?
be
Why do you think it's going to get crazy out there?
36%?
What's your rationale?
36%. That's why.
That's
36%. There you go.
all right then.